So, what do you want to watch?
Oh, I don't know. You in the mood for Mandalorian again?
I think tonight's a Star Trek night.
Ooh, Star Trek.
Staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up. Come my way and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story, and I can feel it coming, like the rising of the sun. Straight up.
This past year with the pandemic has had a lot of us staying in more and probably streaming more.
So today we're going to share with you some of the TV shows that have helped get us through this past year, that have brought us joy and delight and killed some time while we're locked inside. And
Kept us sane.
and kept us sane. And we'd love to share some of the things that have really inspired and excited us.
Now, you have to understand, both Chris and I, when we met 15 years ago, we had both already cut the cord. Neither of us had cable TV subscriptions. We didn't have satellite television. We both were based on streaming and or getting DVD series.
Yes, we would get an entire series on DVD, watch it, rip it, whatever, and enjoy television shows like that. And we've both been fans of great television and have continued that all through our time together. We'd like to find a really good series and enjoy it in kind of one long viewing sometimes.
Or sometimes over a couple of nights or a few nights.
Yes.
So streaming television on the road was something we took with us when we went from a sticks and bricks life to living life on the road. So we optimized for that in our mobile internet setup so that we could stream from wherever we were, even back in 2006. But what are the shows? Now, we watch a lot of television shows. So these 10 that we're about to share with you are just the ones that are highlights from the last year that we've watched that brought us a little extra delight than others.
Yes. So let's count down kind of the 10, not quite just in rough order of the things that have kept us going. So let's start with Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
Yes. So when it was first presented to us, a chess playing game.
A historical chess drama.
Okay.
Sounds pretty darn dull. But I think it was actually by some of the same people who created Mad Men, and they did such a great job of recreating the era of the 50s and 60s and bringing this world to life, and just such great acting too.
Yep, and neither of us, other than, light chess playing with friends over the years, are big chess fanatics, so I was kind of concerned that I'd need to be a chess aficionado to understand it. Not true. Apparently, even chess aficionados take problem with with some of the strategies in the game, so it's okay. You don't need to be a chess fan to enjoy this video.
It's just the storyline of this
amazing
woman, basically taking control of her life in this time period that is not necessarily easy for that, and all set around chess, and it's just great. So great. Fun show on Netflix, easy, quick binge.
I think it was 5 or 6 episodes of like an hour each, 6-ish. So
Something.
it's not a big time cut.
High recommendation. Now, next one, we've got The Great on Hulu.
Now, this one was presented to us by our friends Todd and Jason of the Glamping Guys when we hung out with them over the summer. They told us about it.
Now, this one also sounds boring in concept. It's a historical comedy about Catherine the Great of Russia. Okay, doesn't sound all that funny, but oh my god, it's hilarious.
It's I've come to enjoy this style of series. We also like Emily Dickinson for the same reason, where it's period specific in the settings and the costuming, but the language is more modern. The music is more modern, and
the writing and the storylines. It's so, and the acting in The Great. I mean, the characters are just hilarious, but not in like the slapstick sitcom-y way, just in the way of really great, well-written television. It's just brilliant.
You'll resist the urge to smash glasses.
Huzzah! Huzzah! So, gosh.
Now, the next.
Star Wars, Star Trek.
Okay, so Star Trek Discovery, we had actually started season 1 before the pandemic, but picking it up with the pandemic, along with Picard.
Yeah, we watched Picard as well. But then season 2 of Discovery, and now season 3 is underway. The seeing Star Trek come back to television has been great.
I grew up with it. It's near and dear to my heart.
And I'm when it comes to Star Trek, I'm all about Next Generation and Picard and stuff, and seeing Discovery starting to kind of go from, it was started off, the season 1 was really kind of dark, non-Next Generation-y, and they're starting to now bring more of that optimistic future Next Generation vibe in season 3, so it's been...
But it's not going to Next Generation, it's leading up into...
Well, it's in the future now.
Yeah,
so,
it's fun to see different time parallels going on, but this one brings in Pike.
Yeah, so season 2 of Star Trek brought Captain Pike. He stole the show, and it's for any Trekkies. It's great because they're touching on like some of the stuff from the original series. They're bringing in some of the vibe of Next Generation, and it's just great to have some Star Trekking going on television again because it was gone for so long.
Yes, and I see even a note here that it's still in process, and we just figured out that there's 6 new episodes that we haven't got to. So we need to finish this up so we can get to that.
Go watch finish the end of season 3, and then now I love Star Trek, but if you want go watch Discovery if you're a Star Trek fan. But if you're at all a television fan, watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. This is Disney's the first really big budget Star Wars television series, and it's they've done such an incredible job with The Mandalorian that anyone, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, will enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm not much of a... I've watched Star Wars over the years, but it's never been my heart and soul. I'm a Trekkie. But this I loved. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and who would think? It's the main character, basically you never see his face. He's wearing a mask the entire time. Masks. A full face mask. And his second main character is a green little puppet baby Yoda. So it doesn't sound like it would work, but it works. It is like the kind of classic old Western episodic stuff.
You said spaghetti Western. What is a spaghetti Western?
So yeah, I actually had to double check this because I always kept seeing like The Mandalorian, a spaghetti Western in space, and the spaghetti Westerns were kind of the classic style of Westerns from the 60s and 70s. A lot of them filmed in Italy by Italian directors with that kind of dramatic music, episodic storyline, the hero who's mysterious, and again, the Mandalorian is. And the best thing, even if you're the slightest bit of a Star Wars fan ever, you maybe only ever watched the original Star Wars movie back decades ago, the final episode of season 2...
No spoilers.
No spoilers. It will just have any Star Wars fan jumping up and down and squealing, so watch The Mandalorian.
All right, the next one is Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, and this one sounds wackadoodle. This woman who looks at people and they sing to her to emote what's ever going on in their lives. And
yes.
And that's her call to go help them.
Yeah, another bizarre concept, but incredibly well done because the world for this woman, this is an ABC show, so you can go find it there. Every so often, a couple times an episode, just breaks into a big production musical number with singing and dancing and all sorts of stuff. And it reminds me of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which was another show that had these kind of musical number concepts that we absolutely loved. And just having something like this, and it's such a positive show and a positive vibe,
but tackling very deep issues and very deeply emotional stuff. So it really was I thoroughly enjoyed it. And definitely worthwhile. I'm glad it's back on. We're just diving into season 2.
It is incredibly well done. So singing, dancing, fun, happiness. But serious.
Okay, so this next one is one that I think we watched at the very beginning of the pandemic. It sounded completely crazy. It's called Zom Boats. It is about people driving a narrow boat through canals in Europe to escape a zombie apocalypse.
Which felt like the appropriate thing of the plague. And even if you don't feel like this will be your show, go watch the trailer. There you can find the Zom Boat trailer on YouTube and stuff. This is a Hulu show, but you could watch this and just seeing the zombies chasing the boat. The boat's going about 1 mile an hour, and the zombies are on the shore at the same pace, following along in the canals. And so this is a comedy, not a horror. But it will have you laughing out loud. It's fun. It's a short binge.
And it's all about a virus that's spreading.
And a virus that's spreading and stupid people.
It was a fun way to start dealing and processing what was happening with our world. Okay,
there's another weird one here.
How To with John Wilson. This is a newer one. I think you found it on ours.
Yeah, so this is not something by any description we would have even contemplated if it hadn't been for a reviewer I trusted recommending it, so we're passing this on. That this is a filmmaker in New York who basically just films the world around him, and he's got just such an eye for little bizarre things. And so like one of the whole episodes is like how to cover your sofa. But that's just a shell, and in it, the process, he kind of dives into all sorts of interesting subjects, and you just see the world through such a unique lens. It's great, and he captured the pandemic hitting. So
yeah, he ended it. But if you're at all sensitive to male genitalia in a negative way, you might want to skip it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It is a little more on the adult side. Okay, next one, Cobra Kai.
Remember Karate Kid?
Yes.
Wax
so
on, wax off.
When we started this one, I wasn't aware that these are the actual original cast of Karate Kid continuing the story 34 years later. And I loved Karate Kid as a kid.
And I think every kid loved Karate Kid as a kid. And I'm actually kind of glad I didn't see the sequels because, well, they apparently got worse and worse from the original Karate Kid movie. But yeah, this is the same people coming back, but they're telling the story now from Johnny's perspective. He's kind of the central character. He was the bully, the bad guy in Karate Kid. So now you've got Johnny and Danielson, and they're now the opposites. And all sorts of interesting twists. And then plus the next generation of their kids and a lot of karate action. This was a great treat to find because this is now season 3 is just dropped on Netflix, but it was completely unheard of because the first 2 seasons were on YouTube Prime, something that nobody ever watched. So now Netflix has all 3 seasons, so you can get a really great long binge of these fun characters, and it's just a great show, and it really kind of does the story in such a unique, fun way. So.
Yes, and it had been years since I'd watched Karate Kid. I missed a lot of I'd forgotten some of the original plot lines, especially in the subsequent videos. But they actually go back and they flash back to scenes from the original stuff, enough to give you context for what's happening in the movie and why it matters now. So you don't necessarily have to go back and watch the original Karate Kid. I think we will now go watch it again with the new optic. But yeah, that was incredibly fun. I think we watched all 3 seasons in like
3 nights. Yeah. Yes, it was a blast and a great soundtrack of 80s rock too coming back.
All right, Ted Lasso. Now, first of all, this is on Apple TV, TV Plus. We have found a lot of fabulous shows on Apple TV Plus. We've actually, everything that we have watched on it, we have loved so
Apple's
far.
got very high standards.
But apparently. Ted Lasso is especially stood out.
So again, a show that you wouldn't think from the description that you would be interested in. It's about an American football coach who gets hired to coach soccer in the British Premier Leagues, and he doesn't even know the slightest thing about soccer. And it sounds like stupid, dumb sitcom stuff, which we're not into. But this is just brilliant. That's just the shell they build us around. You don't need to like football. You don't need to like soccer. And it is not a slapstick sitcom. It is a show with just so much heart. The character of Ted Lasso, give yourself at least 2 episodes and you will be hooked and in love with Ted Lasso and cheering for him and how the kind of changes he brings to the world. So check out Ted Lasso. It's like the feel-good show of this past year.
And speaking of giving a show a chance, one I did not originally was Schitt's Creek. I had watched the first episode, probably right after a couple years ago, and I was like, the characters are so unlikable. I cannot get into this show. I don't understand it. And then we kept hearing such remarkable things about it as the last season wrapped up. Yeah,
particularly this year, the Schitt's Creek ended, and so we're here in the pandemic looking for something good to watch, and people are saying, oh my god, the best show ever, the best series ever, all these seasons are just wrapping up so beautifully, and all this love and joy, and I'm like, love and joy, it felt like we watched the first episode, it was like horrible, hateful people. I don't get why people want to watch this, but that's the magic of Schitt's Creek. So give yourself, either skip the first season or just give yourself a season or 2 to get into it, because it's about these hateful people growing and developing hearts.
To at the end, I cried.
And there's so many times. It's just like, this whole town. It was like such, during the darkest part of the pandemic and of 2020, having the joy of Schitt's Creek became just such a thing for us, and having so much of that to watch. So we highly recommend go check out Schitt's Creek.
So that's our top 10 list. We would love to hear what your favorite shows have been this year because we're looking for new stuff to watch. So please do leave a comment and let us know what you are binging, what you are enjoying, and put something on our radar because...
You got a sense for what we like, so now let us know.
Now, our cat also loves watching videos. She'll sometimes join us and watch entire episodes. But she also has her favorite shows.
Yeah, so she loves things where there's critters on the screen, and normally she just likes to watch like 8 hours of bird videos on YouTube and stuff, but she's got a few series she's picked up, and they're kind of almost clones of each other. There's Tiny World on Apple TV Plus and Tiny Creatures on Netflix. And both of these series, by different filmmakers, focus on small creatures with incredible filmmaking to capture the world from their perspective. So These are nature documentary-ish with a little bit of storyline.
I think she likes Tiny World slightly better, and as far as the humans wanting to watch, I like it better to watch with her.
Yes, but the cinematography on both are amazing, but Tiny World, I cannot believe some of the shots they were able to achieve with these teeny little things in a big world. So we call this, and for us this is work, this is testing mobile internet when we watch all this streaming.
Yeah, so we know the question is going to come, well, how are you able to stream while living on a boat and in an RV? And those of you know, we run the Mobile Internet Resource Center as our day job, so we're constantly having to test stuff. So a lot of this is testing.
Yeah, we got to burn through a lot of data to check out all these data plans we have. So,
but because we've been tracking and been on the road for so long, we do have grandfathered unlimited data plans on all of the carriers pretty much at this point, except for T-Mobile, we don't have unlimited, that allow us to do video streaming even at
in 4K.
4K. Most of the plans we have are not currently available. There are some that are. Do go check in our workspace over at the Mobile Internet Resource Center YouTube channel. We just put out a video with our current top pick data plans where you might get some ideas on plans that you can do this, use this for. And we also have a full guide to TV and video streaming on the road.
So yeah, mobileinternetinfo.com/TV, and
there's a lot of tips there, from using hotspot data plans to actually using your unlimited
tablets
and smartphone plans and doing HDMI out or screencasting to use that unlimited data and still have it count as on-device data and not mobile hotspot. So go check that out if that is of interest to you. You can get your streaming fix on the road over mobile internet. It is not impossible. It can be difficult, but it's not impossible.
So now we got to go queue up some Star Trek.
Yes, it's time to go catch up.
Yeah, see how season 3 ends. Da-da-da.
But do leave comments. Let us know what we should watch next. We're excited to hear some new suggestions.
We're not watching Tiger King again.
I mean, did you imagine a time in which it seemed like Tiger King was going to be the pinnacle of entertainment for the pandemic?
Tiger King kind of was the show of 2020.
Oh, goodness. We create these videos just for fun, and we love having you along for the ride. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.